Let's take a look at the information paragraph, one of the readings that you'll see on the literacy test. I'll show you what the reading itself looks like. We'll talk about some of the common questions, and we'll look at some strategies you can use to do well in this section. Let's get started. So the reading itself is about 15 to 20 lines. It's one paragraph, hence the name information paragraph. It's nonfiction, so it's going to be about some real information, mainly about one topic, and it's adapted. So what that means is it does come from a source, but they have changed a little bit. So the idea there is that it's something real. They're not just inventing an idea here. It's going to be about actually something that is real. So here it is. You can see it's not really that long. It's just one paragraph, about 20 lines. And again, this one is about the marshmallow test. It was an experiment. So this is about an experiment, and it goes through and talks about that one topic. And again, that one topic is an important idea. It is one paragraph focused on one topic. So the reading strategy. So you want to pay close attention to the topic sentence. That's going to tell you exactly what the paragraph is about. That's going to give you the main idea. You want to watch for transitions because it's going to help you organize your ideas and help you follow through in the text. Expect numbers. All of the literacy tests in the past, the information paragraphs have had a lot of numbers. So it could be a date, a phone number, a year, an amount, a population, or something. So expect those numbers and watch for contrasts. I find that there's often kind of different ideas happening in the paragraph. Yes, it's about one topic, but they often like to say, maybe people in this city like to do that, but people in this city like to do it that way. And that's important because you'll start to see that come up when you look at the questions. So be ready for those contrasts. So if we go back to the question and think about some of those ideas, one was pay attention to the topic sentence. So you can see here, that's this first sentence. And if we read it, although the marshmallow test was an experiment designed to test self-control in 4-year-old nursery school pupils, it has become one possible indicator of future success. So you can start to see here, okay, this is about the marshmallow test, some kind of experiment. What is the experiment about? Future success. So this topic sentence is really going to tell you a lot about what this paragraph is about. And you can already see, I mentioned the contrast. You can already see this although first word, right? So it's already starting to show you some different contrasts. I mentioned numbers. So here's some 1960s, 600, 10%, 30 seconds, 1980s, 30%, 15 minutes. There is a lot of numbers in this information paragraph. That's kind of one of the skills that they are testing. So what kind of questions will you normally get? Well, first of all, you'll get two. You'll get multiple choice and open response. You're going to get 7 questions in total. 6 of them will be multiple choice, and the last one, the 7th, will be an open response. So some common questions you'll get: vocabulary and context. That's just common throughout the literacy test, so explaining a word and what it means. Specific detail, that's especially considering those numbers. So when you think of, you saw like 1960, 1980, 300, whatever the numbers were, you're probably going to need to use those in 1 or 2 of the questions. And of course, the trick there will be, I think in the paragraph I showed you, it said 1980s and 1960s. So that's going to be kind of where you have to make your decision and which is the answer. Author intent, so why did the author include something, or why did the author do something? Inferences, organization, and writing functions. So I mean, this is most of the questions that you'll see on the literacy test. There isn't really anything special. I would say the vocabulary and context is probably the most likely. Here's that final question, that 7th question. It's an open response, and it is always, and this is really important when you're practicing and studying, getting ready, it's always a main idea question. So it's always this: state the main idea of this selection and provide one specific detail from the selection that supports it. It has been that question in every literacy test that they have used in the past, so no reason to think it'll be anything different. And there's 2 kind of key points here. One is that it's a main idea, and the other is that you need a specific detail. So you want to do it last because it's a main idea, and after you've gone through the other questions, you start to get a better idea of what the main idea is. and you do want to make sure that you find that specific detail to support it. And remember, when you're choosing main ideas, that it's not too vague and not too specific. So it's not kind of a really big idea, but it's not also something really specific. You want to kind of find something that's just right. And where you really want to find that main idea is use that first paragraph. That topic sentence is going to tell you a lot about the main idea. So if we look back at the reading and we're trying to answer what the main idea is, again, we want to use that topic sentence so we know it's about the marshmallow test. So we definitely want that in our answer somewhere. And then after we've read through it and we get a better idea, we can kind of explain what that would be. So in this case, the marshmallow test predicted future success. And you've got it kind of later here, predicted success more accurately than, this could be your detail that you use, maybe that better than reading or math. You could, use other details like their success can be attributed to their ability to control impulses, sustain attention, and plan and develop strategies to achieve goals. So possibly your answer is something like, the main idea of the passage is about the marshmallow test and how it was an experiment that predicted the future success of children. A specific detail that supports that is that the marshmallow test showed that children who were able to control their impulses and pay attention were much more successful in the future. Something like that. Obviously, you would like it to be a little bit better as it was written out and you looked at your answer, but that kind of shows you how you can come up with that answer. Using that topic sentence and then really finding a specific detail somewhere in there that supports your main idea. So that's the information paragraph. It's a quick overview, but it should give you some ideas that you can use. You can kind of see what the paragraph itself looks like. You can see some of the strategies that you need to use. And I think perhaps most importantly, you can see some of those things that are consistent every year on the literacy test. So you will always need to give the main idea. You're very often going to see some of those common questions like vocabulary and context. The paragraph itself is always going to be about 15 to 20 lines. It's always going to be nonfiction. So that's kind of the key thing that you need to do here is think about what is consistent year to year and how does that help you prepare.